I'm a vegetarian, but a lot of y'all like to stuff meat in your mouth. Let me twist this phone a little bit. Why are you gay? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, you don't like wieners, but you stuff a wiener in your mouth on a cookout. And then go to the zoo and like to look at it. We gonna figure this out together while you're confused. Why do we eat carnivores? More like, why do you eat carnivores? Hello, board.
Rabbits. These are all animals that humans around the world regularly eat.
Very cute animals too.
Animals we eat don't eat animals. At least not only animals. Humans basically only dine on herbivores and omnivores. Why do we steer clear of carnivores?
Why we don't eat carnivores? Dang, I can't read. You're still eating meat. It's just someone who eats salads. Wiener eater.
The reason we might avoid eating carnivores, and this was my go-to hypothesis before this video, is the safety.
Some people definitely eat carnivores.
Of their meat. As animals live their lives, they pick up potential nasties, things like parasites, microbes, and heavy metals, some of which can hang around in their bodies and cause harm. When one animal eats,
that's all meat.
Adds that animal's nasties to its own nasties. When
you gotta point its ass.
Another animal, it'll ingest all that animal's nasties. Who should eat the eater?
I don't.
The idea is that eating animals that eat lots of other animals might expose us to more nasties. And that's not
very nasty.
Do know that certain
contain
high enough levels of certain nasties that make them potentially dangerous for certain humans to consume. But we don't have evidence that this
leads
to humans eating.
Yes, you did have a lot of meat in your mouth in other places.
The second hypothesis, deliciousness. Maybe animals that only eat other animals just don't taste all that good. And because we're dealing with deliciousness, I'm gonna hop over into Minute Food Land.
Also deliciousness. Delicioso.
Particularly tasty. The first is,
can I get a higher?
And to be lean.
Fuck yeah. Vacuum.
To catch their prey. The leaner and stronger an animal, less
why is the animated paper dirty?
Muscle fibers are. So the tougher its meat is likely to be.
What's your problem?
Humans aren't big fans of tough meat. Then there's flavor. Because what?
You even musty in the animation was?
That's why some
You're musty.
grain-fed beef. Maybe something about eating
animals
like the urea critters.
Let's get focused. We must stay focused, my brothers.
Makes a carnivore's meat taste gross. And there is some anecdotal evidence for this. People who've eaten bear during different seasons of the year tend to say that spring bears, which have been gorging on berries, are way tastier than fall bears, which have been feasting on fish. Speaking of fish, though, there is a big exception to this whole humans don't eat carnivores thing. Several of the fish species we eat only eat other animals, and they don't taste bad. Quite the opposite, really. So I'd go so far as to say that
go to Florida, they eat alligator all the time.
At least not broadly across all carnivores. Let's go back to Minute Earthland to chat about the third hypothesis,
Florida
efficiency. At least in modern times, producing enough meat to feed big groups of big
I know you just gangbang
raising animals for their meat. And doing this
surrounded by them
doesn't make that much sense. There's the matter of them seeing us.
See, like Skittles taste the rainbow.
Kind of a waste. If you feed, say, a cow 10,000 calories of grass, most of that energy goes into keeping the cow alive. Only about 10% of it goes into building body mass. So from all this grass, you'll only end up with something like 1,000 calories of beef. That's basically just a couple
We have the meat.
If you feed those 1,000 calories of beef to, say, a tiger, you'll only get 100 calories of tiger meat. It is way more efficient and easier to just eat the beef yourself. It's even more efficient to eat the plants yourself, but that is a whole other video. This hypothesis, inefficiency, is the only one that's actually supported by the weird fact that we do eat carnivorous fish. The very same energy loss happens in the ocean, too. But since
I'm vegetarian,
just opportunistically catch
who is we? You.
It hasn't really mattered to us. But there's still one more hypothesis for why humans don't generally eat carnivores: religion. Judaism does not allow the eating of predators. And the Quran bars eating animals with fangs or talons, which discounts lots of animals that eat only animals.
I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. You think you know me so bad.
Just practices then spread outwards, and
Who is we?
humans' avoidance of carnivores as a food source
Ooh la la muchacha.
rules about eating carnivores are rooted in other reasons to avoid eating these animals. For example, unsafety, or at least people's perceptions of unsafety, could lead to these
You eat pork. I ain't worried about your health and safety.
could be related to the other hypothesis.
You know what pig eat? They're real smart.
Consume, it's likely that we'd evolve a distaste for it, just like we've evolved to dislike bitter foods, many of which contain potentially dangerous compounds. In other words, this carnivorous culinary conundrum is complicated. And since nobody out there is actually studying it, we don't have a solid answer for why we gobble up cows.
I know you don't know, doctor.
We're clear of tigers and eagles.
Doctor, I'm sick. It's because you're sick. $500.
Have enjoyed chewing on the possibility.
You should stop doing what you're doing.
Got on our carnivore kick, we have been having
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
where you need to explore and build alliances.
I see you shameless self promo sponsor me too. Like, fuck, I'll do it. Fuck it. Like, I'll do that too, swear. I'm vegetarian, but like, different perspectives. Fucking nasty. You like wieners in your mouth?